passed away August 3rd, 2015 in Mount Home. Melvin was born July 27, 1933 in Plainview, Arkansas to the late Lloyd and Elsie Johnson Rogers. He loved country western music and riding his Harley. Melvin is preceded in death by his parents, 2 brothers, and 3 sisters. Melvin is survived by 2 sons, Jeffrey Rogers of Escondido, California, and Stephen Rogers of Yakima, Washington. A daughter, Cheryl Rogers of Lakeview, Arkansas, and many family and friends. And at this point in time, Jack, would you be so kind as to come up and to transport the microphone? What we're going to have is we're going to open up the floor for people to be able to share remembrances of Mel. And just raise your hand if you'd like to say something.
I remember Mel as we've been here for a while, but every Sunday morning when I got to see him, he always had a smile on his face, just like you saw here in the movie, or what you want to call it up there. And when I did have an opportunity to speak to him, he always, like Pastor said, was an extremely pleasant man to communicate. But at the latter part of his years, his Alzheimer's kind of took control of him, whereas he didn't communicate. But as I said, he always had a smile on his face, and I appreciated that.
Anyone else? Right up front. Right here.
I just remember him coming over a few times, you know, that we'd have him over for holidays and whatnot, and other times, and him telling the story about when he was in the Navy, and when he was the cook in the Navy, and they were on the high seas. I think I mentioned it to somebody else, but he said he had prepared a bunch of pies, and they didn't tell him that they're going to be turning the ship in a different direction, and all the pies started sliding off the table, and he saw them going, and there was nothing he could do about it, and all the pies slid right off the table. That was a humorous story, and he had a large appetite for a man of advanced age. He never seemed to stop wanting to eat, so he was a great guy, and I appreciated him.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I remember Melvin, you know, cracking jokes and stuff, and at our service, and he was a super nice guy to talk to, and kind to everyone, and we're going to miss him very much.
Not only was he a neighbor of ours and a friend and a brother, he was also like a dad to me too. But well, we're going to miss you, man. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Anyone else?
I guess I'll finish this up then, because I remember speaking with Mel before about his baking experience, and I worked in a bakery in my younger days, and I just found out that he was a motorcyclist, and I wish I'd known that earlier so we could have exchanged some long-time stories. But yes, Mel always had a smile on his face, always, no matter all the trials that he went through. He was quite the man.
Is there anyone else that would like to share something? Okay. Would you want to talk? Okay. You want to come up here? Okay.
I wanted to thank all of you for being Carolyn has been, if one more person calls you my mother, I'm going to bop them on the head. You're more like my little big sister. And Frankie and Marie from the fire department, you guys always got my back, and Jackie, who down at the senior center and helped me get me put together today for this. Neighbors, and just Lou, the client, was just like my grandma, and so Mary Lou, who took me in quilting, and like was looking for crafts, and just there's just all of you who have just felt like a family to me, and I really appreciate it. And if I haven't mentioned you, it's not that you're not in my heart. It's just I just love all of you, and thank you all for being like a family. My dad wasn't close. My parents divorced when I was young, and my mother kept my father away. So these last 6 years that I got to spend with my dad were the time I got to be with him, and I got to know him. And I'm so thankful that I had these last 6 years with my dad, because I learned a lot from him. I learned what it was like to be truly loved and unconditionally, and it's something that I hadn't known before. And he was also, I'm going to try to talk about it a little bit, and I promise I'm not going to cry. I'm going to try really hard. We would fight like everybody fights, and I would get mad and go in my room, slam the door, and here he'd be, knock, knock, knock. I'm sorry, sis. And then I'd go, I'm sorry too, Dad. And then pretty soon we both have tears in our eyes and hug 10 minutes later. And I guess that's what love should be like. It's just, and we both truly felt really sorry. And it was just over really fast. And a couple times it was just over as soon as it started. And I remember another time when Dad thought he hurt my feelings, and I don't even know what he said. I can't even remember what it was. And the bus was out front getting ready to take him to the daycare center. And he said, sis, I hurt your feelings. And I said, oh, it's all right, Dad. And he said, no, but I hurt your feelings. And he wouldn't leave the house. And he wouldn't go get in the bus. And I said, Dad, it's all right. You gotta go. But I hurt your feelings. And I said, no, it's all right. Go on, go on. And he wouldn't get in the car. And then he got in the bus, and he looked at the driver, and he said, I hurt her feelings. And he was just really upset. And I guess maybe that's what love should be. You know, you don't want to hurt the other person, and you don't want to, I mean, he was just, you know, and I said, it's okay, Dad, I love you, it's all good, it's okay. And he got to daycare center, and he told Carolyn, I hurt my daughter's feelings, you know. And, but I truly, truly, truly felt loved by my father. And I know that he knew that I truly loved him too. And I feel really good about that. And he was funny. I never knew my dad was funny. And we'd be, of course I was always late. For everything, you all know. And we were on the way to the doctor's, and I was grabbing his hand, and I'd be running in place. Run, Dad, run! And of course he couldn't run. And people walking the other way would be just laughing. And Dad would be going his, you know, his little pace. And he'd say, I'm in tow, I'm in tow. And he'd just be looking at people, whoever it was walking by, saying, I'm in tow, I'm in tow. And then we'd get in the car and we'd be driving to the daycare center, and of course I'd be like, passing everybody and all like that. And he'd walk into the the daycare center and he'd be going like this. And he'd look at Carol and shaking his hands and Betty. And he'd say, oh, what a wild ride.
What a wild.
Or he'd walk in and say, I need 3 fingers of whiskey. That was oh, yeah, he was so funny. And even when he was really sick, he lost 60 pounds, and we were in the hospital, and we were just, he was so sick. And even in his sickness, he was still funny. And he had to use the restroom, and I had been in the hospital for about a week when he found out he was diagnosed with advanced cancer. And I used to just set him in the bathroom there because it took him forever. And so I was always checking on him all the time, and sitting, it's really cramped in there, and I was opening the door, and I just kind of opened the door and cracked, and I looked in there, and here he is, just hospital gown, sick, you know, everything. And he goes, peekaboo. Oh, he's just awesome. I just wanted to he's just awesome. And this is kind of a sad story, but it's just who he was, and I need to tell you this, but one day near the last, he had fallen out of bed, and I get up really early in the morning because I had to be at work at 7, and I ran in there, and he's laying on the floor for I have no idea how long, and I'm